And then, of course, on Sundays, what do? We don't do current news, but we do Fundy Sunday. And for Fundy Sunday, we're doing Cal Zastro. And apparently, there's a possibility in the future of Sodomite police coming in and taking your husband.
Y'all need to hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your kids, hide your wife.
They're gonna come in and they're gonna you need to hide your wife, you need to hide your kid, you even need to hide your husband, because they're getting everybody out here. I would love to thank this morning Chris Cowhig, the default, and anybody else that shows up that happens to be admin in the chat there, or who happens to be mod in the chat, and helping me keep it like that. Sunday Fundy Fun Day, yeah. Ethan wants to be hidden in my basement. If I had a basement, Ethan, I would put you there. Let's see what Cal has to say real quick.
Currently, our oppositions are from two main areas, from within and without. Without, the Sodomites, the perverts, are going to say, oh, it's going to cost the state millions and millions of dollars in a court case that's already decided, so just don't do anything.
Well, yeah, you're going to cause unnecessary government funds, and all that jazz to be spent on something that's pretty pointless. I understand that you obviously don't like homosexual marriage, and that's fine. Marriage equality, that's fine. You don't like it, and I guess for some reason you want people to still speak out about it and cause legal problems for people. I don't know why you have to be that insufferable though. Let's see.
But other folks are going to try and discourage you with saying, well, maybe there's something unconstitutional or not really right in the bill. That's going to be tweaked and fixed, okay?
Oh, it's going to be tweaked and fixed. How's it going to be tweaked?
We're the best scholars in the nation are looking at that.
Okay. You can't cite those scholars, but you're saying that it's going to be tweaked and fixed by scholars. It would be nice if you had at least one name in mind. If I'm going to be speaking on something like that, I would have at least one name in mind. Be like, a bunch of scholars are going to be tweaking this, like blah, 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 bloogity, blah.
And it will be solid. So stop hiding behind that. And when people keep asking and doing these things, turn around and say, what legal language do you propose to stop perverted marriage and to uphold the law of Tennessee?
Okay, uphold the law of Tennessee. Well, considering that the Supreme Court judged that the Constitution already addresses marriage equality, and that the Constitution says that homosexual couples should be able to get married just like everybody else. That's what the Constitution already guarantees. So, with the Constitution applying to all of the states is like a base agreement so that we can have this union, that you can't just say, oh, I'm going to make this law in Tennessee that overrides federal law, or our state laws in Tennessee override federal law. You can't, that's not how our government works. Did he get his law, out of the Bible? Of course he did.
Now, years from now, do you want to get the phone call from your kids or your grandkids saying, Mom, Dad, the Sodomite police or the population police just came and took my husband away?
Y'all need to hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your kids, hide your wife. So dumb, so dumb, so dumb, so.
I'm sorry. I'm choking on bullcrap here. Okay, let me get this straight. Years from now, there's going to be a specific task force called the Sodomite Police, aka the Population Police. And they're going to come and just randomly take people's husbands. And I guess force them into homosexual relationships. I don't know what he's saying. Who funds these Sodomite police? I don't know who funds them. I don't know what the Sodomite police would do. That sounds like a task force of strippers, like male strippers and female strippers that'll come out to your house and be like, "You not crazy enough in the bedroom." What? I can't stop laughing. Okay. Okay, so that statement was pretty ridiculous.
Dad, Mom, why didn't you fight evil when you could?
Okay, this is such a slippery slope argument right here. It's so ridiculous. Okay, so here's how it's a slippery slope. He's saying that because gay marriage or marriage equality was passed, or when it wasn't passed, it was just figured out that the Constitution already guarantees it. So we figured that out, and because we figured that out, then that means that these homosexuals are going to be all rampant and stuff, and that makes him feel all queasy. And then, since we're not fighting these homosexuals right now, and since we're not fighting to overturn the federal law that got passed, which actually didn't get passed because we just figured out the Constitution already says it, but since we're not trying to wipe our butts with the Constitution and standing up for it, then that means that there's going to be a sodomite police that's going to be formed. It's going to be formed full of strippers and homosexuals and all this. They're going to come out here and they're going to steal your wife. They're going to steal your husband. They're even going to steal your kids. They're going to be creeping in your windows, snatching your people up. Hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your kids, hide your wife. This guy's ridiculous. Hide your everything. Pause for dramatic effect. This guy's hilarious. Everything he does is just so ridiculous.
Or do we want our children and grandchildren honoring us and honoring our memory for how we stood for Christ peacefully, prayerfully, intelligently, and we stood in the gap when the time came for us to stand in the gap?
Stand in the gap? Who do you think you are, Wile E. Coyote? You don't stand in the gap. Okay, look, here's what happens, okay? There's this thing called gravity. You stand in the gap and you fall. I mean, even with your own analogy here, it doesn't make sense. Because you quite literally are living in a cartoon fantasy land. That's what you're living in. That's what you're describing. You're basically describing Wile E. Coyote running off the cliff, standing there and being like, I can't believe this guy can't be serious. I really hope this guy's a troll. I really want him to be a troll. But he's not. Troll or not a troll, he's not a troll.
Will we do that? Jesus said, when the Son of Man returns, will he find faith on the earth?
I think he's a troll.
Well, I can't answer.
When Jesus returns to the earth, will he find faith on the earth? I don't know. Let me think real quick. Let me think. Right now it's Christmas. If Jesus came back, all the Christians in America would collectively crap their pants. I mean, if Christians could only just put up nativity scenes of something that never happened. If Christians could only just proudly display their faith everywhere without being ridiculed. Oh, wait, it's like atheists or people of other faiths. Christians can put up stuff wherever they want. They can be bedazzled and freaking Christ memorabilia just all over their self. They could be bedazzled, like they could even have bedazzles like on their skin and everything. And people would like, man, you got a lot of faith. And it would be normal. It would be fine. You have people that sit there on social media saying, oh, I pray for this, I pray for that. You have one person to stand up and say, hey, why don't you actually do something instead of just praying for people? Like, donate some money or something. And then all of a sudden it turns into a persecution narrative.
For the whole earth. I can answer for me and my family. And hopefully we can answer for Tennessee, that Jesus will find faith here in Tennessee. Who wants to...
You hope that Jesus can find faith in Tennessee? Really? Was Tennessee not the state that just recently tried to pass some kind of thing that would actually jail atheists? I mean, isn't Tennessee like one of the most religious frickin' states in the union right now? In the continuous whatever, in the 48 states, 50 or the contiguous 48 states, you are the most religious state here, like one of the most, like other than Kentucky or West Virginia, which West Virginia in itself is kind of, but I mean, Tennessee, you're close, man. You're right up there. I mean, I'm in Alabama, and I'm saying, woe back on the faith. I mean, but not vajazzled. That's just tacky.
Be a part of that.
The right wing watch is right. Dang.